I'm Vin.
I'm Sori.
If you would like to get your song reviewed, dear listener, there's the filthy capitalist option. As Sori says, $125 gets you straight to the head of the line. You don't have to be a part of the alliance. You don't have to be part of the group.
Wait a minute.
And the biggest thing is you don't have to wait. You hop, skip, and jump right in front of everybody. $125 gets you there. You do that 3 times, and you get mashed down to the $75 rate for perpetuity.
Yes!
Also, there is a band review option. So if you've got a band and you're trying to get your band some exposure, hit me up at villageXchange@gmail.com, and I'll show you the details about how to pull that off.
You can also jump on Patreon, and there is a option on the tiers to be able to get your band reviewed. Yep. Obviously, we can't lie to you, so we can't guarantee a positive review. Get what you get.
It's just rubbish.
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 That's British for garbage.
My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in at Patreon. You get to join an alliance. The alliance joins their points together, and that helps determine what songs that we do.
The alliances hang out on Discord.
Message me on Patreon to get the link.
And they do all kinds of other cool things. They do Minecraft, Dungeons and Dragons.
Yeah. It's really a community within the community. Anybody can go on the village, facebook.com/Vin and Sori. There's 160,000+ people on the channel. What's cool about the Discord is that it offers a real opportunity for community connection, friendship, that type of thing.
And it's on Discord, so if you're not a Facebook person, it's for you.
You start off at $1.
Right.
Plus you get exclusives. Sori and I are working on a song. So the first 15 seconds of that was on Patreon. Also, at $15 tier and above, when we actually debut the video, they're going to be there live with us. There you are, dear listener.
Buy our merch.
Buy our merch indeed. It shall lead them.
To buy our merch.
Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener. Yes, dear listener.
Is a picture of the warning.
Down where?
Down in your downloads or whatever.
That's them?
Yeah. No. It is them, but it's also us too. So get rid of that one and get just them. The warning, 21st Century Blood, is what we have up next. This is for DJ Mike Franco.
DJ Mike!
He says, please put up the photo for the song, which Vinny is already on that. He said, this band really is the future. At such a young age, they mastered such talent in the rock scene. This song was made when Danny was 17. What was that? This one, P-A-U? Pow was 15. And Al was 12. Let that sink in. Just mind-blowing. All right, let's check it out. 21st Century Blood.
21st Century Blood. All right, here we go, guys. 21st Century Blood. Let's go. such powerful vocals. That lead, I mean, it's just, I mean, she's got no flaws in her
vocals.
In her vocal game. Like, I mean, Shorty is just, they're just incredible, and it's so incredible to me. But yeah, I mean, this is the hottest band out right now. The hottest band out right now. Like, period. And look, man,
what can be done?
I'm a knuckle dragging Neanderthal metalhead, man. Like, I'm into the chuggy shit. But I'm telling you, these girls, man, forget it. It's over with.
They're unbelievable. And what I said before when we were muted was they're so young. Even it's just crazy, like seeing. Ouch! Oh shit! Please watch that drink. They're so young, even in this video, and you can just see that they have. Like,
Saber Wolves in this bitch.
What's up?
Saber Wolves? Gang shit. Let's go. Sorry, go ahead.
You can just see that they have such star power right there at that age, like unbelievable. Oh, that's interesting.
What?
Well, we didn't plan it, but your headband in my pants.
Oh yeah. Oh, you didn't plan it.
Oh, you did?
You didn't plan it. Nah, I didn't plan that shit.
Oh, man, you got my heart up.
It's even better that I did it on accident. What you mean?
Oh, that's what it is? Or you're just vibing?
What do you mean? You put your brightness up all the way. I want to see if people can see that thing in there. What do you guys think about the watermark in the background for the stream key? Is it corny? Is it tacky? Or you want it back in the corner here? Let me know.
Okay.
I need that battery charger.
Oh, yeah. Here you go.
We gotta get another cord because this thing is plugged in, but it's not registering any of the whatever. I cannot tell you. First of all, shout out to Mike Franco.
Yeah.
But I cannot tell you guys how. Later, Metal Cat. Thank you so much for helping me out with the Anarchy stuff and getting me the name of that guy, because I'm probably gonna shoot a reaction video to him. So actually, what you could do, like. Yeah, when you get the time, if you could send me the name of that dude, vinandsori@gmail.com. I mean, I'm gonna probably do a series on it. I'm so like drawn to the anarchist, whatever. So yeah, if you could do that, that'd be great. Okay.
All right. I'm gonna pull up the lyrics over here.
Okay.
We're the new generation. Okay, first of all, that video was crazy. I actually felt like I was watching like a mini show.
Well, Netflix had that movie Bird Box with Sandra Bullock.
Yeah, it reminded me of that with the things over the eyes.
They had to have it over the eyes because whatever you saw was making people off themselves. So that's how they decided to solve the problem.
But this one was like pretty crazy because I don't usually like to see like the actual like violent event. And I know it wasn't like super graphic, but the man did hit the tar like that. And I would not have watched, but I thought because it was like this.
A music video, there's no way
that they were going to do that. And then they did, and I was like, saw the man, I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, she did.
Okay, we're the new generation, lost our salvation, another problem to be solved. We're the groundbreakers, honey, living for the money. 21st century blood, immortal souls dying, empires are falling, we're just waiting to be crushed. Politicians trying, but we know they're lying. Every truth has been sold. We make buildings when what we need are bridges. We're stuck within these walls. Everyone with blank faces trying to fill the blank spaces that we left a long time ago.
I think that might be a little dig at Trump there, huh? Build the bridges instead of building a what now?
Well, we make buildings when we need are bridges.
When we need our bridges, we're stuck within these walls.
Oh,
so
yeah.
I'm just interpreting that.
Oh no, that's true
Mexican,
because they're Mexican. Yeah. Okay.
But there's also a hell of a lot of corruption in the Mexican government itself.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Not just the cartel and all that. Like, it's just straight up corruption. And some of it is like, look, we'll just murder you and your whole family. It was like that guy said in that show, like you take the lead or you take the gold.
Yeah,
gold
exactly. Yeah, yeah, I remember that. Yep.
But yeah, go ahead. Continue.
Everyone's in depression because of an obsession with stereotypes around the world. Worldwide starvation. You want me to pause there? Everyone's in depression because of an obsession with stereotypes around the world.
Okay. Keep going. Unless you got something to say.
I didn't actually. I was like kind of hoping you might say something on that one because I don't know what we mean by stereotypes around the world.
Yeah, I don't really see how that works in this particular line. I mean, English isn't necessarily their first language. Everyone's in depression because of an obsession with stereotypes around the world, worldwide starvation. But in this situation, no one seems to care at all. The closest thing I can come to is that you look at the Russia-Ukraine situation, for example. Americans have a stereotype of what Russia is and what Russians are.
Mm-hmm.
And so we are not socialized to give the Russians a hearing.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and a lot of that, I mean, is justified. If you were in a decades-long beef with somebody and you guys almost went nuclear, I can understand why there'd be a hell of a lot of distrust and looking at people with a side eye.
Mm-hmm.
But what was done to Russian people during the whole Russia Gate situation was really, really fucking horrible. And anytime I shot a video on Middle America, I would always get some Russian person messaging me saying, thank you. Everybody's against this right now.
Yeah.
And like, that was the thing. Like, in order to get Trump, they cooked up the Russiagate thing, and they had no even thought process of how is this going to affect Russian nationals in this country.
Yeah.
There was none of that. It was Russian scum and all the other bullshit that they did. And like, again, you can say that Vladimir Putin's a horrible, terrible, evil, fill in the blank person. But we have stereotypes and hypocrisies about all these people. It's the same thing that happens with the Palestinians. The people who should be the most compassionate to these people are Christians. And we are the least compassionate to those people.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, well, what, you know, I mean, they're Muslims, and you know what Muslims do, blah, 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 blah. So that's where the whole stereotype obsession thing could work, I guess. Mm-hmm. Worldwide starvation, but in this situation, no one seems to care at all. I'm actually going to push back on that a little bit. We're actually doing pretty good with worldwide starvation, actually. Like, we've made some significant gains relative to feeding people and things of that nature. So that's actually, and the only reason I know that was because I was prepping for an abortion debate.
Okay.
But yeah, and that was one of the things that she brought up. And actually, we're doing really, really good with that. It's estimated that by 2035, we will have completely and totally eradicated world hunger.
No kidding.
Yeah. So
really? Oh, that's so interesting.
So we're in pretty good shape with that, actually.
Wow, that's even crazier with Gaza then.
Mm-hmm.
Because by 2025 we can eliminate it from the world.
I'm sorry, 2035. It's 10 years down the line. Go ahead. 2035.
Yeah. But right now, as it stands, like there are people that are getting beyond the point where they, even if they got the food, would still die.
100%. But to Franco's point, it's crazy to me. And you know what? Was it Franco the one that gave us that documentary?
Yeah, Franco's the one that created it.
I would have a hard time believing that these girls wrote these lyrics, not because, girls can't write good lyrics, but because of their age. It's such a mature mindset. And then her voice, she sounds like, her vocal style is like the 90s R&B power singers, like the black 90s R&B power singers. That girl got some sort of whatever in her DNA, man.
Yep.
Like, so, yeah, but go ahead. What was your take on that?
Well, I just disagreed because I feel like that the kids nowadays, like, because they have... The kids nowadays, I sounded so old. But anyway, like, I feel like that they have access to so much through the internet that really, like, you kind of... You see it, like one of our kids, he's always looking like at what's going on like culturally, and like he has a lot of information, and it's really interesting to watch like how he has like such strong opinions on things that are both political and cultural.
Yeah.
And so I don't think, especially like these girls they're going around, they're experiencing life in a lot of different places, and they probably are. You know, you remember that girl when there was, I think it was the school shootings, and she went out and she was speaking against it. And it was like, she was so powerful and she was so young and she was so knowledgeable as far as what was going on that like, it was, you know, I just feel like that this, you know, this next generation of kids, I think that you can use the internet for complete destruction. You can ruin your life on the internet. And I think that, you know, if people are not careful, they can put themselves in situations where, you know, they get trafficked because they were on the internet and they were talking to the wrong person and thought they were talking to somebody else. And so I think that the internet can be a really dangerous place. And without wisdom and without, like, you know, some overseeing eyes or whatever, like it can be really destructive simultaneously. I think there's so much potential to see what's actually happening in the world and to gain a deeper understanding of the struggles of other communities and how and that's where I actually agree with her with the stereotypes around the world thing. Is you're right. Like, we've almost created like caricatures of people from other cultures and places, and they become what we've been told and the media tells us. Like I can't remember what event we were looking at, but when you looked at one place, they were calling them terrorists. When you look at one place, they were being called, you know, it was the same exact situation, hostages or something. Like, it was like
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah.
it really depends on who's talking to you and what their agenda is, which was, you know, one of the things I was talking about doing with Middle America is, like, presenting the two opposing sides. Like, this is what the left and the right say about the exact same situation, and here's Middle America. But I feel like that these kids are that. Like, I feel like that they're looking more into things and they're seeing, you know, maybe where we were caught up in our world that was around us, they have access to a broader world, and it's just, you know, broadening their mindsets and giving them content.
The self-awareness of these it's incredible. Everyone's in depression because of obsession. We talk about that down where she says, hey, what will our future hold? Will we regret our addiction to the rush?
Mm-hmm.
That is such a crazy line. Will we regret our addiction to the rush? Hey, yeah, it's always been crazy, so let's fly away and roam through the world that it's slowly burning up in the flames or whatever. So many stereotypes we have of Americans, and they're probably all right. I really did not know how people viewed America.
I didn't either.
Until I was in, you know, some middle, you know, whatever, and then like, so you had, you know, indigenous guys here, and then you had a group of folks coming from, you know, another place, and so it was like, everybody's a Muslim, but there's different groups of Muslims, but they're all cool, and then there was a contingent of Americans, and like yeah, that was the first time I was like, holy shit, like, this is how people perceive us? Like, wow.
Oh, I was going to say, do you get perceived differently because you were born in Jamaica, or is it all the same because you spent too much time in America?
They don't even... No, I just had that on my passport for,
mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah, I do.
But, like, yeah, it was the first... And I talked to the guys mentoring me. I'm like, yo, why do they look like they're afraid of us? And he said, because they're afraid of us. And I was like, there's only 3 of us here. And he's like, yeah, like, and then he told me that guy, his second aunt, whatever, like, he saw her evaporate. Like, evaporate. Well, we dropped, she was like dead on 0. And so, like, there was nothing. Like, she just...
Holy shit.
And so, like, it's a crazy thing to be like, oh, that's how... Because, honestly, like, before 9/11, Americans truly did not understand how we were perceived in the world. Mm-hmm. They had no idea. But it's like that African dude said. He said, the Americans are war masters. Like, mm-hmm. You know, like... So it's a crazy thing to think about, but when you look at that line, will we regret our addiction to the rush? We talk about this, you know, once in a while offline, where it's like, oh, you know, like, if you killed somebody, I mean, they were trying to kill you, right? And then you say to yourself, yeah, but why did I put myself in a position where people would be able to do that to me, mm-hmm. where I would have to defend myself? Mm-hmm. And so, like, you got to contend with that. You got to understand that. But there's always a way to justify and add virtue to an incredibly selfish action. Like with you, like, basically, I knew that job and our marriage was not going to coexist.
Yeah.
It just, and I don't, and I still like, I don't know, maybe we need to have a conversation offline about it, because you asked me about it, like, do you ever upset, blah, 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 about, and, I was not, the shit is, out of my system enough to where, I'm not, but the point is that it's kind of like I don't want to spoil a show, but basically there was this guy and he started drug dealing, and, obviously it creates all these complexity in his life. They start losing people, yada, yada, yada. And the wife found out that he was drug dealing, and then he's like, look, I'm doing this for my family. I love you guys. Like, chill out, relax, blah, blah, blah. And all through the show, in multiple seasons, anytime he would get confronted, he would say that, like, I'm doing everything I do for my family, blah, 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 blah. And then finally at the end...
Bro, I thought we were talking about somebody we knew. I'm like, who is
finally
this?
At the end, in one of the second to last scenes or whatever, his wife, they're done. She confronts him about it, and he goes, look, everything I did. And she rolls her head. She goes, here we go. He said, I did for myself. He says, I'm good at this. I was better at this than anybody else. So I did this for me. And it was a very cathartic moment in the thing, because I'm like, there's so many things that I've done, like put my kids and my family second to go do these giant, I want to be in the history books bullshit, blah, 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 And it's like, I was trying to find the most difficult, craziest thing possible to justify my existence, really. And so it's like, there was a lot of me in all of that. If I ever laid out, people be like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
but
sure.
it was all for me. I mean, people do things for millions of reasons, right? But the major shit that I've done in my life has been about me, I think. It's me, and the definitely the Rush part about it, that, yep. The whole thing.
That right there.
Me.
Is why that's why Jesus said, you can't serve me and other things. It's him or it's other things. And when you make yourself your own master and you serve your own things, that's what we do. And you said it was you, and those are the decisions that you made to serve you. And
it's deceptive.
Yeah,
it's really, really deceptive,
yeah.
And they got their own thing to deal with. I was just reading an article, and Tom is talking about coming back again.
Right. Yep.
Again.
Yep.
Yesterday.
Yep.
It's just like, it's something.
I think the worst. My worst decisions have been because to serve myself, or because of something that I wanted. So yeah, I get it.
Yeah, obviously, you want the Russian, and the horrible fact is that it's you feel.
No, Jet, don't do that.
You feel.
Don't
You
do
feel. You feel. I don't know if I want to say that. That's pretty controversial. I just liked how I'll say this. All your dreams have a cost. And I'm not saying that to warn you or anything. It's just, all your dreams are going to come at a cost. I mean, that's just the long and the short of it. Nobody who's ever done anything significant in the world has ever done it without sacrifice. Mm-hmm. Never. Mm-hmm. And, like Peterson says, sacrifice is a negotiation with the future. Right?
That's
you're saying,
literally what I was thinking.
You're saying, Mr. Future, this is what I want to see. And then the future says, okay, if you want to see that, I require this. And whatever it is, whether it's your childhood in warning, whether it's your ability to or inability to erase certain movies out of your head, it's all there.
Yeah.
And it's a tough realization, and it happens a lot with men. You know, it's called role conflict, but it definitely happens with women as well, especially high-powered women like the girls over here. Super high-powered women. And being so young, I respect them. They've got great family around them, it appears, so they look really, really set up. But when you look at these lyrics, like, they're aware that the lifestyle is not all glitter and glam. Like, they understand that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm very curious to see what they're going to do, because we want them to be up there forever. She might say, all right, 2 more albums, I'm out of here, I'm going to start a family, blah, 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 blah.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Like, so.
Or she might say, I don't want to do the family thing. I just want to
Agree.
ride out this music career.
Agree.
Like
But what
Brady did till the end.
What I'm saying is, like, that's one of the things where, like, the famous person becomes a captive to their audience. See what I'm saying? It's the same thing I said, like, about Vaughn. Vaughn had this reputation. You can't fuck with him. He's going to shoot you. He got 7 bodies, blah, 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 blah. So now, because I think, obviously, I thought long, hard about this. I don't think there was ever a way that he was not going to end up dead, because he was captive to the image of his fans.
Mm-hmm. Oh, jeez.
And so...
yeah.
Now, and everybody has a cell phone now. So Vaughn, his whole, you know, the je ne sais quoi was like, blah, blah, blah. So now I got somebody on camera going after Vaughn, and he didn't do anything.
Yeah.
So he was never going to be in a situation where he was going to be able to escape that persona, and it ended up killing him.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
And it doesn't have to go that far, and I think that they're going to figure it out, inshallah. 9.5 for me. What do you give it?
9.5 as well. Yep.
Kai says, do you want to avoid criticism? Do nothing, say nothing, be nothing. Whoo! Whoo! That's a good line. We'll see you beautiful people on the other side of the break. Vin out!
Sorry out.
Go! Timestamp.